Elsewhere this afternoon, Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel is rejecting calls by Attorney General Lisa Madigan for a new federal investigation of Chicago police practices.
She says the shooting of Laquan McDonald is not an isolated incident. CBS 2 Chief Correspondent Jay Levine joins us now. And Jay, I know you sat down with the Attorney General this afternoon. How would this federal investigation differ from the three probes that are going on right now?
Far more wide-ranging, not just the McDonald shooting, but the culture that Mayor Emanuel says he wants to change. Investigating what the New York Times this morning in an editorial called, and I'm quoting here, a historically corrupt law enforcement agency that is well-versed in the art of hiding misconduct, brutality, even torture.
Is there an excessive use of force? Is there an excessive use of deadly force? Is there accountability when there are allegations of police misconduct?
Isn't this the same thing that Mayor Emanuel is trying to do with the task force that he announced yesterday?
This is actually different, and it's different for a number of reasons. One, this would be a completely independent, outside entity, because it's going to be the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice who actually has enforcement authority. And so I think that the mayor actually should welcome this.
Not exactly.
To set up another investigation while one has yet to conclude, in my view, is wrong. Hitting the restart button is not going to get us to the comprehensive solution. My question to you is, given all the work that's been done, I wouldn't want to start over because it's going to take time.
I'd want as many eyes as possible on this problem.
Former Assistant U.S. Attorney Ronald Safer just finished a 2-year investigation into police accountability.
I would welcome a federal investigation if I were the mayor. I'd welcome a federal investigation. I'd welcome an investigation from wherever.
At the White House, a spokesman for the president, while expressing support for the mayor, seemed to agree.
Because the president is committed to the idea of these kinds of independent investigations.
There's really not a problem with having good people from here in Chicago with good suggestions and making some changes. But I really think that in terms of looking at what has taken place and all the complaints, for us to move forward as a city, the best thing to do is to have an outside independent investigation.
Josh Earnest at the White House concludes that they have already received the request from Lisa Madigan for that investigation, said talk to the Justice Department, ask them how they will receive that request. We called the Justice Department a number of times today, repeated emails and repeated calls. They have not gotten back to us.
So his new task force is not going to be enough, and it looks like, based upon what the White House said and Attorney General Madigan said, and Mr. Safer as well, it's time for yet another set of eyes.
Well, I mean, Ron Safer did a pro bono investigation that would have cost millions and millions of dollars into just that, accountability. Now, a year or so later, the same investigation is going to take place. At some point, you say, what is this doing?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Jay.